So Xero changed their navigation bar today, and I think bookkeepers around Australia have got their knickers in a twist over whether or not this was a worthwhile investment in their research and development team or whether it is worthwhile. And look, for me, it's cosmetic changes, and at the end of the day, I have no control over what Xero do. So in some respect, I just have to suck it up. Do I like the new layout? Not yet. I think releasing a feature like this at bus time is quite difficult for us to get our head around in a short space of time. However, we've had a lot of people request some information about how do they find things or where is inventory and certain features are missing. I can guarantee that nothing is missing. It's all there. It's just perhaps under a different menu now, and you might need to click in a different space to find things. So let's have a look at what's changed and whether or not that will affect you. I guess the couple of menus that are slightly different at the top are business and accounting. So under the business menu, we now have, say, our invoices and quotes or sales overview. And we also have our purchases, bills, purchase orders, purchase overview. So previously that was just split out into sales and purchases. If we go to bills to pay, now I'm in a demonstration company. This is not live data. It's not client information. I just wanted to show you exactly what was existing. So when you go into bills, it looks like it did before, where we've got a draft section, awaiting approval or awaiting payment. You can still search as we did before. If you wanted to go to purchases overview, again, this is what the old screen used to look like, and you can filter directly into draft, awaiting approval or awaiting payment. Exactly the same with your invoicing. So if you go to invoices at the top one, that will give you a whole list, so everything. So when you go onto that first tab, don't freak out thinking everything on this list is owing or outstanding. You've got these extra 3 tabs here to help you narrow down what you're looking for. If you go to sales overview, this is what we're used to seeing with the draft, awaiting approval, awaiting payment, and overdue. So that's one of the big differences in the business one. Down the bottom of businesses, we've got expense claims, which already existed. I'm not a huge fan of their expense claims at the best of times, so I try and avoid it. But products and services is now the new name for inventory. So a lot of people have said we can't find inventory. They don't have the module anymore. They certainly do. It's just called products and services. My understanding of the reason for changing that was we had a lot of service businesses that did sell items, for example, whether that was ebooks, whether that was consulting services, and they wanted to set it up as an item code to save their data entry. So having it called inventory was a little bit misleading. So now they're now calling it products and services. Exactly the same. When you log in, it looks exactly the same. So the accounting menu now, I guess, is more for your reporting and your bank account. So before, reporting had its own menu at the top. Now we need to find reporting under the accounting module. I find this a little bit frustrating because obviously I use reports quite a lot for a lot of my clients, so I don't see why it needs to be hidden in another tab, but it is, so there we go. My biggest tip for things like reporting is there's so much reporting you can get out of Xero. You need to make these little stars blue, which is called making it a favorite. So the reports that you run all the time, or at least at the end of the month to see how your business is performing, or your activity statement at the end of each quarter, for example, make them blue, that little star. And you do that just by clicking on it or clicking off it if you decide it's not one of your favorites. Then when I go to my accounting menu, I've got my favorite reports listed here, and I don't actually need to go into this reports tab. So keep that in mind. You can add things to this favorite section, and you can also take things off this favorite section. Down the bottom in advanced was chart of accounts. So that previously was under a settings tab. So again, a lot of people said, I don't have the access to access chart of accounts. You do. It's just now under the accounting tab here, chart of accounts. So that's if you need to change the names of your accounts, add new accounts, etc., etc. And also fixed assets are now under the accounting tab. As well. So that's the change that you will find there. There's a couple of features in here that are only available to advisors. So you may not see everything that I have listed on the screen. but you should hopefully see most of it. We've still got the features at the top, which is the plus sign, which I use all the time for clients. If you just quickly need to create an invoice, I go plus invoice, or if you need to create a quote, you can create it straight from here. So that's something that I use all the time. The menu on the left has changed slightly. So now if you need your files section, so if you upload documents to the back end of Xero, so whether that's bills, whether that's bank statements, whether that's hire purchase agreements, whatever, asset documents, there used to be a file section in the top toolbar on the right hand side. It's now under your company name on the left, and the first one there is your files one. So that will take you to wherever you store your documents in the back end if you do use that feature. The other one is your settings is now under your organization name. So the second one down, again, that used to be in the toolbar at the top. So if we go in settings, we will see exactly what we used to see before. However, some of them have changed the layout. So keep in mind if, payment services used to be on the left-hand side, they're now on the right-hand side and things like that. But in terms of any of the information, it's all there. It does just look slightly different. So what else? There's also some shortcuts which they've created. So I'm just going to hop back to the dashboard, for example. So if, for example, you wanted to create an invoice, I think you now do, of course it's not going to work now because I'm creating now if you click search for anything, oh, it's not available in the demo company. No wonder it's not working. So obviously I can't show you live data, but there's some shortcut keys. So if you do the backslash, it will open up a search box. And then if you wanted to look for invoices, you'd type I, or if you wanted to look for quotes, you'd do Q, or if you wanted to look for employees, you'd type E. So there's some certain shortcuts that allow you to do things a bit quicker. Personally, for me, I already know my way around it, so the shortcuts for me aren't actually shortcuts, but some people may like to use those if they're a keyboard person and they like to type. If you're having any difficulty with the navigation or finding the modules that you're used to using, please get in touch with us. Like I said, love it or hate it, it's here to stay, so I think we need to embrace it. And right now I'm probably sitting on the fence with how I feel about it. Like I said, I feel there's a lot more features that we could possibly be spending our time on to do in the back end of Xero, but I'm not in charge there. I'm just one of their users, just like you. So the navigation is new to me. I've played around with it a bit before it was launched today. And I think in a couple of weeks, once we get our head around it, we just won't know any different. So if you feel that you are missing features, you may just have to do a few clicks to see which heading it is now under, and keeping in mind that things like inventory has completely changed its name. So if you're searching for inventory, you won't find it. It's products and services, and your reporting is now under your accounting module. So there are a couple of the big changes that we have seen. Obviously there's changes literally every month in the back end of Xero, but the navigation bar is one that people were quite comfortable with the old one. So we're getting a lot of queries today. So I hope that has helped let you navigate the new navigation slightly easier. If you have any major questions or concerns, of course, we are here to support you and all of our clients, and all you need to do is send us an email, support@healthybusinessfinances.com.au. Chat soon. Bye.